My read on the war, many commodities traders around the world are asking threadguy, what do you think? Threadguy this, threadguy that. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Well, I'll tell you what I think. And in order to articulate what I think, I'm going to bring out my old trusty Microsoft pen. I think that there is a timeline right now. Okay, there's a deadline, there's a clock. Okay, there is a clock. The timeline here is 5 days. Okay, and what is significant about 5 days is that in 5 days, 8,000 Marines are going to arrive in Iran. Okay, 5 days, chat. And so the only thing Trump cares about right now, at least it seems, and I wish we had like thought this through when we were trading oil at the beginning, is the whole game here is he's trying to buy time, right? He's trying to buy as much time as possible to do whatever he wants to do. And so there's like 3 outcomes here, honestly. Number one, which is 65% likely on Polymarket, and I feel like every day that goes by that we don't have a ceasefire and we don't have a deal done feels more likely, which is just like ground invasion, right? There's 8,000 Marines on the way to Iran. Take Karg Island, whatever it is. Like, number one is just invasion. And when this happens, oil is going to get cooked. I mean, I think, right? The obvious response to this is oil down bad, okay? And so you have more wiggle room if Brent is at $95 and if Brent's at 120 when you do this. You have way more wiggle room. You have like 3 days, 5 days, another week. I mean, oil goes up on the invasion because once we get there, this was originally pitched to us as a 3-day war, right? This was pitched as like as a 72-hour war. And so oil rips on this. Full-blown escalation. Now, if it was an in and out, we're done, straits open, regime changes happen, Iran's taken. But the assumption is that this lasts a long time. It's like, because this is not in and out. And so this is like the obvious one of the 3. I'm not going to put percents on this because I don't know. But this is option number 1, okay? This happens. It happens on Friday. Friday is the fucking deadline. Second option here is the best outcome for all cases is Trump taco, but for real. This means deal is done, okay? Deal is actually done. Honestly, at this point, I don't really care if he lies to us or not. Terms don't matter. Oil down a ton, risk up a ton. Now, the thing about this is it doesn't solve our like initial problem, which is that AI doom, SaaS apocalypse, stocks are top. Like, it actually doesn't solve our like initial problems, but it solves our war problem if this gets done. Okay, this is feeling like increasingly likely is probably the best outcome for all sides. No matter what happens, I feel the terms that were laid out in that ceasefire, there's no way we get all of them done because it's clear that Iran can just hold the Strait of Hormuz no matter how hard it takes. But let's just assume this happens. Let's assume they get the terms. This plays out. Okay. The scariest outcome, though, that I think we're witnessing is Trump doesn't want to invade yet, but he also can't get a deal done. And so you get the diminishing returns of taco. And what this is going to look like is that every time he tacos, it's like stocks up a ton, oil down, and then it's like a little less, and then it's like a little less, and then it's like a little less, and then eventually it's going to inverse. This, I think, will be fucking nuts if it happens. And probably the most likely outcome, which is that Trump is trying to buy as much time as possible for probably to get a ceasefire done because who the fuck wants a ground invasion? Okay? So he's posturing, he's sending the troops, he's doing everything he can. In the meantime, since he knows we're not done yet, he has to buy as much time as possible by keeping oil down, suppressing oil. And so what are they doing to suppress oil? Well, we'll get to the manipulation segment after, but I don't know. Is Besson in the books? I don't know. Treasury shorting oil futures? I don't know. I'm just a guy that's paying attention, but the answer is maybe. But regardless, he's tacoed 10 times plus every couple days. Every time oil starts to rip, he pulls a taco. Trump always chickens out. They plant some headline, and every time the market reacts less. Okay, and so we showed it. The first headline was here, and then it 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 was here, and now we're like here. We are here. And so there is an outcome where you go all the way down here, and then all of a sudden the market stops reacting and it starts going the other direction. It starts tacoing the other direction, and you just lose control because there's like a moment, a chasm that gets crossed where the market doesn't trust Trump's word anymore. They don't trust Kushner. They don't trust Wickoff. They don't trust Vance. They don't trust Rubio. They don't trust what anyone's saying. They're like, no, the war's still going on. Gas is $7 in the tank, and you guys are suppressing the price. The promises are empty, and you did one too many without action, and it goes the other direction. Once it goes the other direction, it's like GG's. Oil, pew, piss missile. Stocks off a cliff. Bitcoin, go to church. And everything else, I have no idea what even happens. Seriously, we're like close to this. Bro, they announced a ceasefire, which is obviously fucking fake, right? I mean, I don't know. If the only war in Trump presidency just escalated to and stopped at a ceasefire and we were out, don't you think he'd be like talking about how we won the war? Look, it seems to me that that headline was so egregious that Trump himself can't even in good faith come out and say that it's true. And so give it to Israeli media 12 and then have like the White House and everybody retweet it. It's that egregious. He can't even say it in good faith. So fuck it, I'm not doing an interview. He'd be tweaking live. He can't even pretend. He's an actor. He can't even pretend. That's how bad it is. If we get here, it's GG's. It's just GG's. It's cooked. Things don't look good and you lose control of the market. And then what happens after that? I don't really know. Bro, I'm just telling you on the diminishing talker returns. It was like, it's going inverse. Going something like this. Headline severity was a 1. Price impact was like a 10. And then it's like 2.9. And then it's like 3, 7. And then it's like 4, 5. And then you go the other way. And it's like 6, 3. And now we're, in my opinion, we're somewhere at like 7, like 2. 5%. Like, look, I know it's not that high, but 5% on a 30-day ceasefire. And so headline severity and then price impact. It was a 10, and then it was 2.9, then it was 3.7, then it was 4.5, then it flipped. We flipped. And now the most recent ceasefire is 7.2. What do we know about 7.2? What do we know about 7.2? 7.2 is the worst hand in poker. It's the worst hand in poker. And so not only has severity of headlines to price impact flipped in the wrong direction, but Trump has been handed the mythical 7 deuce. Now, if you win with 7-2, you're the GOAT. But the reason you're the GOAT if you win with 7-2 is that nobody wins with 7-2. And you have to be a retard to play 7-2. Nobody plays it. You're either trolling or retarded if you're playing 7-2. And which one is worse is unclear. Now, you know what the thing about thinking there's 40 chess is that whenever you think there's 40 chess, there's not. And so I see that Trump was dealt 7 deuce. You don't get a good feeling in your chest. I say all that to say, my friends, we're coming to a hedge. We can't just keep doing this forever, okay? We cannot just keep doing this forever, okay? You don't just like push it off, push it off. You can't just do it forever. We've been doing it for 4 weeks. And Iran responded. We're going to read it. Let's read it. The one who once spoke of regime change in the fragmentation of Iran now hopes that someone in Iran will engage in dialogue with him. Though this, too, is merely an attempt at deception. The thing that's so funny about this candle to me, this giant red candle, and then the wick, is the bottom wick is Trump saying, I'm talking to Iran. And then the recovery is Iran saying, no, we're not talking. And then it still settles down like 10%. It's actually just who's better, like who's louder on Twitter. Like I've never seen anything like this. It's actually just who is louder on Twitter. And so Iran keeps coming out and be like, no, we're not working together. And Trump's like, no, we're working. We're working together. We're working together. And Iran's like, no, we're working together. We're working together. Oil down. It's like, bro, how long can you do that for? It's like your homie like repeated your joke, but like really loud and really funny. But then he keeps doing it. It's almost like not only did your friend repeat your joke a lot louder and got some laughs, but it's like he created and built a comedy career just off repeating your jokes. And that's like all he does nonstop.